Venturepark Labs, a place to create, learn, and experiment, where potential ideas, products, brands are put under the microscope, analyzed and dissected, reassembled and perfected with one question in mind. How can it be better? How can it make our lives better? Make our world better? Venturepark Labs is a place to keep pushing the potential of products and the people behind them. At Venturepark Labs, products are made in our incubator kitchen, scaled in our national 5-month Accelerator Program, nurtured by a dragon, supported by one of Canada's largest retail partners, and then go on to claim shelves, kick ass, and raise capital alongside 100 companies and entrepreneurs. How is Venturepark Labs able to make such an impact? It's part of something bigger. Venturepark, a business growth ecosystem. Capital, creative, media platform, strategy, mentorship, all working together. Building business, scaling business, reinventing business, a park to change the businesses that change the future. Got an idea, an ingredient, a product, a vision? We're here to push its potential. Apply to Venturepark Labs today.
Yes! Hello, Canada! We are so excited to have you with us for Demo Day. I'll be your host today. My name is Rick Campanelli, and for the next hour, I'll be joined by VP of Venturepark Labs, Mike McNeil. And Mike's been at Venturepark Labs basically since day one. Mike and I will introduce 10 Canadian entrepreneurs from Venturepark's Accelerator Program who are here today to push their potential. Now, Demo Day is a platform that allows entrepreneurs to expand their networks and reach customers by telling their stories and getting advice from industry experts. For those watching at home, share this event stream with your friends and your family members, or tag Venturepark Labs on social media so we can see your watch party in action. We're all having fun here today. Last Demo Day, we reached over 10,000 Canadians. So let's continue that momentum and reach more viewers than ever before. Okay, Mike, great to see you. What do you know now that you wish you'd known when you were just starting out?
Well, Rick, thanks so much for hosting. We've worked with over 100 entrepreneurs in this program now since 2015. So we've learned a ton. And I think we've worked with some really great entrepreneurs that have started at different stages. But really what we've learned is what an entrepreneur needs to succeed. And that's why my boss, Arlene Dickinson, has built an ecosystem for entrepreneurs in this space. The entrepreneurs that we worked with in the Accelerator Program, we've pushed their potential. We've provided them with mentorship and resources. And we've learned that if we support this sector, we're going to have a lot of success stories. And over the years now, we've worked with entrepreneurs that are creating a huge impact on Canada's economy. We recently found out that all of the entrepreneurs that we worked with have now generated over 1.6 billion in economic output. They're creating thousands of jobs. So when we provide these resources for these entrepreneurs today, and that's all what today's about, is about pushing the potential of these entrepreneurs, we're going to see a lot of positive impacts on our economy and our country in general. So very excited to have you with us. Thank you so much for helping us bring attention to these amazing brands.
My absolute pleasure, Mike. Thank you for the nice words. It's extremely exciting, isn't it? I can't wait to see what people have in their stories to show us today. Today we're streaming to Canadians from across the country, and some are new to Venturepark. Could you share, Mike, your vision for Venturepark and tell us about the impact it's had on Canadian entrepreneurs?
Absolutely. Yeah. Venturepark is a business growth ecosystem. So we provide the mentorship through Venturepark Labs. We provide the expertise of marketing experts in the consumer product space. And we have a capital fund that's investing in entrepreneurs that have a lot of potential in making a big impact in this industry. And since 2015, the entrepreneurs we've gone on to have hired thousands of Canadians. The entrepreneurs in this program alone, the over 100 alumni that we've worked with, are generating about $180 million in annual revenue. Those are Canadian jobs. They're using Canadian ingredients. You feel that impact across Canada. And what today is really about is bringing those resources, those industry experts together to make the path easier for these entrepreneurs, but also for people to watch at home to understand what these entrepreneurs are going through and what are some of the challenges and resources they need to take their business to the next level. And maybe some potential entrepreneurs are watching as well, get inspired and start their business as well.
Great stuff, Mike. Well, you and Arlene, congratulations to you both, to the whole team. It's clear that supporting these entrepreneurs makes a big impact. Thanks to our incredible entrepreneurs and sponsors, we're giving away some amazing prizes throughout the show. Our goal is to raise the profile of each and every one of these brands, and we can achieve this with your help. To participate, share the link ventureparklabs.ca/demo day on social media and tag Venturepark Labs for the chance to win a shopping trip courtesy of Sobeys. We'll be giving away gift cards as well to a handful of viewers, so don't miss your chance to win. Now, this year, for the first time ever, you can purchase a Demo Day bundle box to try some of today's featured products. All proceeds go directly to the entrepreneurs, which is a great thing, and these boxes have very limited quantities. So be sure to place your order now before they sell out on the Venturepark Labs website. All right, our first batch of entrepreneurs is brought to us by Sobeys, our title sponsor. Sobeys helps our entrepreneurs grow by giving them advice and opportunities to list their products on Sobeys shelves. Today, we are pleased to be joined by our first Demo Day panelist, Stacy Sousa, Director of Grocery Merchandising for Community, Thrifty Foods, and Local Development at Sobeys. Stacy has been part of the retail industry for over a decade, so our first entrepreneur is going to benefit from your vast experience, right, Stacy? Welcome, Stacy, to your first Demo Day. It's a pleasure to have you with us. Sobeys is a big supporter of Canadian entrepreneurs, and your team has helped Cohort 13 push their potential with advice and product listings in your stores. Why, Stacy, is Sobeys so committed to supporting local entrepreneurs?
Thank you so much, and good afternoon, everyone. I'm so excited to be here and in my first Demo Day, so I can't wait to see what's to come. Sobeys has a proud and long legacy of supporting local, dating back over 115 years when the company started delivering fresh local meat to patrons within their small community. More than a century later, our company is still committed to that very same purpose. We're committed to local entrepreneurs and supporting them along the way because it's important to our customers, communities, economies, for food security, and the list really goes on. With the events of the last 2 to 3 years in our world, there is more of a focus on food security and locally made products across the customers and the country. Our commitment to growing local is intended to create a positive social, economic, and environmental impact within Canadian food, beverage, and wellness businesses. Today, our local development manager teams are industry leading within the market and focused on bringing this commitment to life. And I'm so proud to be working alongside all of them. We're invested and committed to keep this growing and supporting local entrepreneurs well into the future.
Thank you so much, Stacy. Now kicking off the event and boosting everyone's morning routine in Okotoks, Alberta, and beyond, it is my absolute pleasure to introduce Sarah Noyes of Rebel Bean Coffee Roasters. Take it away, Rebel Bean Coffee Roasters.
Good afternoon, everyone. There are 3 things that people say about me. I'm a huge supporter of local. I provide fantastic customer service, and I am definitely a bit of a rebel. Rebel Bean started roasting coffee about 8 years ago in the front room of a coffee house down the street here in Okotoks. Around that time, I moved here and became a regular customer myself. Early in the spring of 2021, during a trip into this new location to buy coffee, I learned that Rebel Bean was for sale. While we were driving out to go skiing the next day, I told my husband, and his immediate response was, "When are we buying it?" What do a past president of the Chamber of Commerce, a massage therapist, executive director, digital marketer, recruiter, and a bartender in Greece all have in common? Me. My name is Sarah, and I'm now the proud owner of Rebel Bean Roasters. And if you're a rebel too, this is your coffee. Born a rebel, not willing to follow any norms, bend under pressure to have a linear career or live in any one place for long, this brand spoke to me. What attracted me to Rebel Bean was the attitude and the branding, and then the great coffee inside the bags. What attracts others here is a bit different for everyone, but the rebels who love the branding and love the coffee built this business into what it is today. With very few dollars ever spent on marketing, without having had a sell sheet or a price list, Rebel Bean is in several grocery stores, restaurants, and cafes, and roasts all the espresso for Canadian Rocky Mountain resorts. From Rebel owners to Rebel Beans, this brand has built itself through word of mouth alone so far. We regularly acquire new customers through our fundraisers or restaurants. Those customers go on to purchase from us directly or from their local grocery store. Diversity, inclusion, identity, being yourself despite all of the things. Rebel Beans do this. Despite the high temperatures and being treated like all the other beans, Rebel Beans come out of the roaster yellow instead of brown. And we just don't think that different is wrong. Built on this attitude, business consistently grows every year, primarily due to word of mouth and a reputation for roasting great coffee, providing excellent customer service, and being easy to do business with, whether you're a new wholesale client or a fundraiser or a direct customer. I will grow Rebel Bean into the rest of Alberta, Western Canada, and beyond. I bought it on the strength of the brand and the coffee, and I'm going to push its potential with the strengths of my own, so it's a recognizable powerhouse in Canadian coffee. Thank you.
Sarah, so well done. And your product was sent to me a couple weeks ago. Thank you very much. You make my mornings so much easier. That product in those bags that you were talking about, 2 thumbs up. Thank you, Sarah. Now to Mike. Let's talk coffee, Mike. I know Venturepark has helped some amazing brands in the coffee category achieve remarkable success. What can Rebel Bean coffee roasters learn from them?
Well, first off, Sarah, amazing presentation. I was so proud to see the work that you've done to really build this brand and take it to the next level. I think the thing that we've learned from some of the brands who worked in the coffee industry is understanding how to differentiate yourself. Obviously, there's quite a few brands in the coffee space, but what I really like about Rebel Bean is that it already has that inherent built into their brand. They're standing out in terms of their approach to making their coffee, but also just their approach to the business in general. And so, Sarah, I know you're the next person to bring that business to the next level. So I'm very excited for you. And I think what you're seeing right now is a lot of organic growth because people just love your product. So I would recommend getting that product in front of people as much as you can. Just organic word of mouth, make sure that they have some samples and they can really test the product and appreciate all the work that you're doing. So well done. Thank you.
Thank you.
And Stacy, over to you now. What advice do you have for Rebel Bean coffee roasters to help them stand out on store shelves?
Absolutely. And also echoing, well done, Sarah, and great job. And the product is unique. I've sampled it myself. It is lovely. But as Mike alluded to, coffee is quite a saturated category. It's one that has a lot of local presence in retail shelves across the country. So trying to stand out and pop is going to be a challenge, but I think you've done so. The white packaging in a category that is filled with darker tones, browns and blues will allow you to pop. A few points of advice I would have is if you've taken a look at the actual physical dimensions, as you know, retail shelves are finite. We always kind of say we need to find the shelf extenders with all the innovation that is coming. So if there's something you can do with the dimensions, because it's a game of inches, and if it can get you your core items plus your differentiating flavor because you've made those packages a little bit smaller, that's an opportunity. Also, what makes you really unique is your roasted on date that you have on the packaging. I just worry about the scalability when you do start to expand, because once you get into larger supply chains and logistics with warehouses and transport, I just don't want that date to be a deterrent versus the current kind of wow factor that the customer can experience today with that. But all in all, well done. Keep it bright, keep it exciting. And to everyone's point, coffee has such a loyal following. So trial, product availability, make sure that it's popping off the shelves. And if you can get the consumer to try it, you can gain a customer for life. So really well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, Sarah, congratulations to yourself, to everyone at Rebel Bean Coffee Roasters. We can't wait to see your product expand across Canada.
Thanks so much.
Nicely done, Sarah. Up next, we have Vancouver Island Soap Works, a company that is inspiring shoppers with its commitment to making luxury products without compromising health. Please welcome its founder, Debbie Cooper.
You care about what you eat, organic, non-GMO, locally grown, but do you care about what you're feeding feeding the largest organ on your body, your skin? Did you know that your skin absorbs more than your stomach? My name is Debbie Cooper, and I am the founder and CEO of Vancouver Island Soap Works, an olive oil soap company located in Victoria, BC. I started making my own handcrafted soap when 2 family members were diagnosed with cancer. This took me on my quest to find out exactly what we are feeding our skin. I started researching the long list of unrecognizable ingredients listed on the trusted, well-known brands I used on myself and my family. I was shocked to discover that these well-known commercial brands were full of cancer-causing ingredients. I threw them all in the garbage and started making my own handcrafted soap and deodorant. I was a stay-at-home mom on a farm in rural Metchosin, just 30 minutes outside of Victoria. While my kids slept and went to school, I made soap in my kitchen. My original plan was to sell soap at farmers markets, but after contacting several markets, I was alarmed to find out that the markets were already full of people selling soap. I then started selling my soap at a small gift store in a local cafe near my farm. In the first week, my soap sold completely out. From there, my retail journey took off. By the end of the year, I was selling my soap in 20 retail stores and growing. What makes this soap so great? It's made with 3 simple ingredients: pure olive oil to create a Castile soap, which is the mildest soap that you can use, coconut oil for its rich, creamy lather, and avocado oil for its as a moisturizer. Then we add additional clays, exfoliants, essential oils, creating 25 different varieties of soap, something for everyone. What makes us different from other handcrafted soap companies? We are a 100% palm-free soap company. We use pure olive oil, not pumice olive oil. Our soap company matches our organic farming practices using ingredients that are good for the earth, not like palm oil that causes irreversible devastation to the planet. We make really good soap. The lather is insane. The scent is not overpowering, but strong enough to enjoy the aromatherapy. Our soap rinses off, leaving no scent on your skin and no greasy feeling like palm oil does. Our competition is not other handcrafted soap makers. Our competition is Irish Spring, Dove, Ivory, and other commercial brands. We want to give our customers a superior soap with ingredients that they can pronounce. One major thing that really separates us from other handcrafted soap companies is that our soap making methods allow us to manufacture ready-to-use soap in 24 hours, while other soap companies have to wait 4 weeks for their soap to cure before it's saleable. This is a huge game changer, which allows us to keep up with a large volume and to change direction based on consumer needs. We are now selling our soap in over 110 large grocery stores throughout BC. We add a new store to our production every week. Our goal is to continue our growth throughout BC and to start selling our products in Alberta and work our way across Canada. Thank you.
Absolutely amazing. My family and I have been using your product over here at our house, and my feet have never smelled better. It's not just a pretty product. That stuff gets the job done. And those bath bombs, forget about it. My boys in the bathtub, they stay in there for hours. Debbie, you did a great job right there. I turn my attention right now to Mike. Mike, skincare is such a competitive category, but it's clear that Debbie has established a local and loyal following. How does Debbie turn that following into a national brand?
Clearly something's working, Rick, if the foot odor problem is improving. So well done, Debbie. What I think Debbie's doing so well is she's built a community around her brand. And I think what really stuck out to me about her presentation was she mentioned that her competitors are the big leaders in this category, which I think is great. I think for a smaller brand that's just getting started, that has some early stage growth, it's important to think big about how you can then grow this category to being competitive against these brands that are obviously, have a strong following. So I think being authentic to what separates your product in terms of, some of the wellness benefits, I think would be quite important. And then from there, I think it's about figuring out who your target customer is. And that's just from the people that are currently buying your product, and focusing on your marketing efforts of getting the product to that target customer across Canada. So being very strategic with your marketing, I think, is very important, and reaching your customers by going into stores and retailers that cater to that type of customer. So well done, Debbie. I think it's a fantastic product, and I'm so excited to see you launch across Canada very soon.
Thank you.
And those wellness benefits, aside from that good stuff, the product is so pretty. You know, you open up the package, you see it, you don't want to use it because you want it just to sit there on your bathroom counter for everyone to see. But you do give in because, you know, again, going back to the feet, it needs to be done. Stacey, turning my attention to you now, Vancouver Island Soapworks has seen so much success in Sobeys stores across British Columbia. What do you think her next steps should be to grow in Sobeys throughout Canada?
Absolutely. The product has done very well within our retail outlets. There's such a strong local following within the BC consumer. Local is foundational in some of the kind of key attributes that consumer is looking for. So I think the naming convention, the product, the story has allowed trial, but the repeat purchase speaks to how fantastic the product is. It is beautifully crafted. It works. There's just so many positives, and it's really speaking to the added benefits. So I think moving outside of those BC boundaries is, how do we start creating that national narrative where Vancouver Island may not be important to the Ontario consumer or the Alberta consumer. So what is that story that you want to begin to tell that consumer to promote trial? Because once you get the trial, Debbie, the product speaks for itself. So it's really building that national narrative. You've grown locally, but how do you spin those attributes and create a narrative to the national consumer that will encourage them to try your product? Because once they do, I mean, the sales results speak for themselves. You will get that repeat purchase. You just need to get it into their hand. And along with that, one other small piece of advice as you look at scaling, obviously your distribution and logistics model, you really want to start considering that from a production standpoint, end to end. Costs will be associated, and you want to make sure that the retail continues to be attainable for the consumers across the country as you start scaling that out. So begin to think what that could look like from a production, logistics, supply chain standpoint, and really leveraging social media to create that national narrative so the consumer won't just see it as a Vancouver Island product, but a natural, clean product that they want to give to their families.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you.
All right, let's see what's cooking now with our next presenter, Mike's Salsa, joining us today to talk about bringing amazing salsa from their kitchen to yours. Are the company's co-founders. We got Mike Scholter and Norm Yakel. Welcome, Mike and Norm. What can you tell us about Mike's Salsa?
Hello, I'm Mike. Hi, I'm Norm. We are partners in a company called Mike's Salsa that we started in 2016, located in Regina, Saskatchewan. We are in Sobeys, Safeway, co-ops, and independent outlets across the province. Co-ops in Northern Alberta, and we plan to include Manitoba and Western Canada in the near future.
It all started with the tomatoes. However, I believe Mike here unknowingly added a very special, powerful, and most unique ingredient to the recipes that sets Mike's Salsa products apart from all others. And then the magic happened in Mike's kitchen.
Traditional recipes handed down from the family were selected to transform the bounty of homegrown tomatoes into the best salsa ever, just like homemade.
The delicious salsa flavors created are not only fresh tasting, they also complement the healthy lifestyle of our customers.
Right. Our premium products are low in salt, low in sugar, have no additives or preservatives or artificial flavors or coloring, and unlike other companies, no water is added to our products.
Our aim is to create the most natural products possible and to maintain the highest quality of taste and flavor to present to our customers.
As the demand for our products grew, we were inspired to create new and exciting gourmet products beyond our original tomato salsas that included pineapple and anise salsas, cucumber relish, pizza sauce, and a cranberry coulis.
We also created recipe ideas for our customers to try, They are easy to make and they are so delicious. You can find them on our website at mycsalsa.com.
For example, to 1 cup of rice, add 3 to 4 heaping tablespoons of your favorite salsa to the rice recipe, creating a Mexican, Hawaiian, and Mediterranean rice dish. Or make unique appetizers such as ciabatta bites by spreading whipped cream cheese on a ciabatta and adding Mike's salsa as a topping. Place potato salad in a pastry shell and add Mike's cucumber relish. Unbelievable. Add cranberry coulis to a smoothie or spread Mike's cranberry coulis on the morning toast. Mike's salsa is more than just a dip for chips.
Each of the salsas are offered in mild, medium, and hot to accommodate the preferences of our customers, bringing our premium product offerings to a total of 12.
As we travel and meet our customers at local retail outlets, they delight in telling us over and over how the fresh homemade taste of our salsas, pizza sauce, relish, and cranberry coulis brings memories to mind of times gone by.
They become very animated when they tell us about when their mothers or grandmothers would make relish and preserves with fresh vegetables that they harvested from their gardens.
After enjoying many family stories from our customers, we soon realized our product contained the most powerful ingredient, memory maker, an ingredient that makes it possible for the taste of our products to transport our customers to a special time and place.
Yes, I recall when one of our customers told us that when she opened a jar of our cranberry coulis, it was like opening a jar of Christmas.
As memories are an important part of our lives, Mike's Salsa creates a special key to unlocking the most memorable and special moments in our lives with family and friends from the past.
And will most definitely inspire extraordinary memories for all in the future.
So let the magic begin. Make memories with Mike's Salsa. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, Mike and Norm. Well done, guys. That cucumber relish, forget about it. So good. Mike, Norm, you certainly are the front runners for best dressed entrepreneurs on demo day. Hands down.
Thank you.
Looking good, guys. Great presentation. And joining us now as well is Gary Hughes, the local business development manager at Sobeys. Gary's expertise and passion for supporting Canadian entrepreneurs has helped countless brands with retail listings, and he has been a pillar of support at Venturepark Labs Accelerator. But before we get to Gary, let's hear from Mike. Not the salsa guy, Mike McNeil, the VP at Venture Labs. Mike's Salsa has seen tremendous growth in their home province of Saskatchewan. Mike, how do they replicate that success in other provinces?
Well, thanks, Rick. And Norma, Mike, congrats on an amazing presentation. And you truly are the best dressed at Demo Day. And I wish I was dressed as well as you for this panel. I really want to commend you on a great presentation. I think how you grow this business based on some of the traction you've had in Saskatchewan is really doing what you're doing, but being very focused in how you grow the business from a regional standpoint. I think, Arlene always calls it careful growth, and I think it definitely applies here as well. People, when they try your product, they get that immediate rush of all the memories you're talking about in your presentation. So for me, demoing that product is so essential to get it in front of people, for them to test it, for them to fall in love with it, and then for them to bring it into their homes and make it a weekly shopping experience. So I think more product experience and getting the product in front of consumers will translate into a lot of new loyal customers for you. So I definitely recommend doing that on a very focused approach across as you expand outside of Saskatchewan. And I think you'll see success, but I'd love to hear what Gary has to say.
Excellent. Yeah, very well done, Norm and Mike. Fantastic product that you have. I tried the cranberry coulis last night. Unique, different. The salsa category for sure is a tough category. I love the memory concept to it. To Mike's point, getting someone to try that product. It's a category that's driven by a couple of major national brands and private label and own brands products in stores. So price sensitivities there. People are habitual when they go by and they're just picking up the same item. If you're standing in that aisle and offering them a chip with something that's going to blow their mind and offer that memory to them, I think that's going to be a game changer, getting the people to try it and and move on, you'll get loyal customers that way. I love the tertiary products you have in the relish and the coulis, just because it is something different. It's some brand recognition for you that's in a different aisle, that can help add to just the brand of Mike's Salsa as you look to grow outside of the province. So yeah, lastly, you can't stress enough how important it is to sample, get the product in people's mouths, and share that story and get those memories out there.
Yeah, so true, Gary. I think, Mike, you said it as well. Sample it, buy it, fall in love with it, become addicted to it. That's what happened to this guy over here in Ontario. Mike and Norm, great stuff right there, guys. And great insights from the best of the best. I think we can all agree that these companies are onto something fantastic. Thanks again, Mike's Salsa. Now, remember, if you'd like to support any of the brands who are pitching today, you can find the link to their shops by scanning the QR codes on the top left of the live stream, or by visiting ventureparklabs.ca/demo day to grab your very own bundle box to sample a few of today's products at home with friends, with family. Yeah, it's a good thing to share. Don't just keep it all for yourself. Share, get the word, get the brands, get the products out there. We still have a few gift cards up for grabs, so share the link to the stream, snap a pic of your watch party, and tag Venturepark Labs on social for a chance to win with Sobeys. All right, our next batch of entrepreneurs from Cohort 13 is sponsored by BMO Canada, and today we're joined by BMO's head of business banking products and programs and risk, Robin Stewart. Welcome, Robin. BMO's experts are always available to the entrepreneurs at Venturepark Labs and have helped so many of our accelerator participants, including this next one. It is my absolute pleasure to introduce Chris and Christy Goodrow, co-founders of Sweetness. Chris and Christy, you've invented a snacktivity. Tell us more.
Yes, we sure did. So, invented by a mom and brought to life by kids, Sweetness is here to take the prep, mess, and chaos out of cookie decorating. Hi, everyone. We are Christy and Chris Goodrow, husband and wife, and co-founders of Sweetness, located in Edmonton, Alberta. As parents to 3 kids, we know firsthand most crafting, baking, and decorating activities seem like a good idea. You think it's going to be this cute memory filled with love and laughter, but it ends up being more like...
Stop eating all the icing.
Just let me do it.
No. You want to squeeze it onto the cookie.
It's too much.
Don't knock the sprinkles on the...
Okay, we're done. We're done. You're prepping, facilitating, helping mostly kids who need the help but don't actually want it, all adding additional stress to your plate. And at the end of it all, you're left cleaning up the mess. So we created a way to eliminate all of that.
Our coloring sugar cookie kits are portable, mess-free, convenient, and easy. Words every caregiver wants to hear, saving time and stress. Leveraging technology, our tasty sugar cookies are printed with edible ink stencils in a variety of unique and trendy designs, both seasonal and for everyday activities. Paired with our food coloring markers, kids can have their craft and eat it too, experiencing the ultimate snacktivity. Coloring cookie kits are bringing excitement to a stale cookie decorating category. We operate a direct-to-consumer website with products shipping all across Canada and wholesale to a growing list of retail partners. Our kits can now be found in nearly 400 stores across Canada, an increase from 65 this time last year. You can find us in many amazing independent retailers, as well as Indigo, Sobeys, select Loblaw banners, and exciting partnerships with Mastermind Toys and Party City coming soon. As well, our newly launched fundraising program, available all over Canada, offers high profit margins to organizations and is poised for massive growth in the coming year.
We love our community and we believe in giving back. Previous years, we've partnered with Kids Help Phone and Ronald McDonald House on specific campaigns, but we are excited to now be working on establishing an ongoing national charitable partnership.
Out of our own experience with families and kids' mental health, it was important to both of us to support initiatives in areas close to our hearts. Sweetness has big plans and many exciting opportunities in the works. Among them, growing distribution throughout Canada to large national and regional chains, private label opportunities, and product line expansion.
What started as a home-based side hustle to our current 4,000 square foot facility, and now poised to expand into a larger space to meet production demands and to accommodate our growth. Christy and I have bootstrapped Sweetness for the last 4 years and are now seeking equity partners to further accelerate our growth.
So toss chaos aside, grab a coloring cookie kit, and experience the joy of playing with your food. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here today.
What an excellent product. That charitable component, good on you guys. I wanted to show off what my wife and my sons and I had created with your product, but we ate all the cookies. We didn't do anything. They're so tasty. And what a great, great idea. Mike, before I get your thoughts on the presentation, Sweetness is bringing their innovation to store shelves across Canada. In your experience, how should they support that retail growth with their marketing?
Well, Chris and Christy, I want to congratulate you on an amazing presentation, and the traction you've had with the brand, even in the last year, is just so exciting. And truthfully, I have a 2.5-year-old son, and I have a couple neighbors that are also at the toddler stage as well. And we had everyone over last Sunday and tried your product, and they absolutely loved it. I think with this brand, it's just so demonstratable. I mean, if you're a parent, you absolutely understand. You start out with great intentions to get the kids into the kitchen, and then 5 minutes later, it's a mess. And your product is solving that problem. So I think it's just something that you really want to show through your social media, how the product works, because I think the packaging is absolutely beautiful. And when you see it in store, you can see how this is shaking up such a stale category and bringing a lot of attention to it. But I think people want to see how it works and what that benefit is of having a really great time with your kids without, the hours of cleanup that come after that. So investing in some product videos, I think, and making sure that the product is really demonstratable in terms of your in-store signage, I think will be really important. But your brand, I think, is so solid. The play with your food mantra, I think people understand that right away, and it allows people to be approach the brand in a non-serious way, which I think is one of your core values. So I absolutely think that this brand will be really significant, and I know the investors watching there'll be a lot of interest. So I'm really excited to see your growth over the next year, and really congratulate you on building such a great company.
Thanks,
well, thank you.
Thanks, Mike. And that marker ink, it's edible. My sons didn't want to try it at first. Get it in. Robin, Sweetness is at such a critical stage of growth right now, and growth needs funding, including access to working capital. How should emerging brands like Sweetness access working capital?
Thanks very much for the question, Rick, and congratulations, Christy and Chris, on a great presentation. You've got a great product and a great story to tell. When it comes to emerging brands like yours, the need to access working capital should always start by having an in-depth conversation with a banker that you trust. Every business has its own unique needs and requires a tailored solution that will be impactful to your goals. There really is a variety of solutions out there, and your banker is the trusted advisor you need who can present all the options and guide you to what will be the best fit for your business.
Robin, great stuff. Mike, thank you for your input. And Chris and Christy, what can I say? You've got a great product right there. Best of luck to you both.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Let's hear from our next brand, a functional mushroom company that is here to emphasize the health benefits of mushrooms and to learn how to stand out in the market. Please welcome Joy Dutcher and Jimmy Zuzenjak of Mycelyum.
Hi, my name is Joy.
Hi, I'm Jimmy. We're the co-founders of Mycelyum, surprisingly tasty mushroom gummies.
Did someone say mushrooms?
Not those type of mushrooms. Talking about functional mushrooms, which are legal safe for all family members to eat, and are also known as superfoods. Joy, how's your digestion?
Not so great.
Do you experience brain fog?
Ever since COVID.
Are you feeling stressed?
Especially today.
Luckily, I've got just the thing. I've been a healthcare professional for over 25 years. Functional mushrooms were first introduced to me over 3 decades ago by my mentors in the martial arts world. After years of biohacking and experiencing the benefits of these superfoods, I started to share them with family, friends, and clients.
I was diagnosed with ADHD 8 years ago, and as much as I love my superpower, it has some downsides. When I asked Jimmy for a more holistic approach to improve my brain health, he suggested I add functional mushrooms to my diet. The first 2 I tried were chaga and lion's mane, and they were game changers. My passion for functional mushrooms has come directly from the health transformation they've created for me. But after a few years of Jimmy and I trying every product we could find on the market, we knew we needed to come up with a new product that we would enjoy adding to our day.
So we wanted to create a fun and flavorful delivery system for these mushrooms, not only for ourselves, but to reach the masses as well, and really help empower people to eat with purpose. Like, these superfoods have been used in some cultures for over 2,000 years. So what better way to give that ancient wisdom a modern taste?
Who doesn't love gummies?
So your lion's mane mushroom is great for that cognition support. So it helps with better memory and focus. The reishi mushroom is amazing at being an adaptogen. So it really helps to balance out your stress levels and excellent sleep support. The turkey tail mushroom, fantastic at boosting your immune system and great for that gut health support. Chaga mushroom, yes, this is a mushroom, is great for energy. So you can think of it as a caffeine replacement that's packed with antioxidants. And cordyceps mushroom, also great for energy and really good for that respiratory health support.
When we started Mycelyum 3 years ago, we had no competition. But as interest in functional mushrooms has increased, we've seen more similar products join the market. Thankfully, we stand above the crowd. Our gummies taste way better.
Our gummies have more of the functional mushroom in them.
We've always priced our products affordably.
And our gummies are low FODMAP friendly.
Feedback from retailers and consumers is that people are looking for all natural, plant-based, low net carb gummies. So we're excited to expand our retail presence across Canada with our new recipe and snack pack products. Our Fruit Punch Kid Snack Packs are perfect for lunch boxes and come with lion's mane and turkey tail.
Our Mango Peach Flavored Performance Pack is great for those active individuals, and it's full of chaga and cordyceps.
Our Pomegranate Nootropic Pack comes with lion's mane and reishi and is perfect for the busy university student or stressed out professional.
So thank you for your time today and joining us. We invite all of you to try our gummies, and we know you'll love the yum we put in Mycelyum.
No doubt about it. Joy and Jimmy, those mango ones you just showed there, I had those like 3 hours ago. Absolutely delicious. The domed ones that you're showing off in front there, I had those 2 days ago. Come on, guys. There's no mushrooms in there. That does not taste. That tastes delicious. Those things are tasty.
Awesome.
Thank you.
I love that. I love that product. More delicious than gummy bears. My sons eat the gummy bears. I'm all about these. You have a great product here, Mike. My attention to you now. Functional mushrooms are certainly becoming more popular. How does Mycelyum capitalize on this growing popularity while standing out amongst their competition?
Well, Joy and Jimmy, what a great presentation. I love the energy that you bring to this company. And when you talk about the product, I can tell you're so passionate. I ate the entire package that you sent over to me as well. I absolutely love the taste of this. And, you know, when I first thought mushrooms, and I'm new to this category, even though I know it's growing in popularity, but probably similar to Rick, I was like, oh, I'm expecting some sort of different taste, but it felt like just a really high quality gummy. And so what really stuck out to me, I think, is getting the product out there and having people sample and try it so that they can get that understanding that this is a really delicious product, in addition to a lot of the functional benefits you've had. Joy, I know you mentioned that you found a lot of support with your ADHD with using mushrooms. And I think that's really captivating and interesting. So your story, I think, is so ingrained in this product as well. And I think customers will really resonate with that as well. So the more I think people will try this product, the more they're going to understand this is just a delicious product that has a lot of functional benefits. So whatever your strategy is for taking the next step, I definitely recommend doing some sampling and getting the product out there in front of customers, because I will definitely be buying a lot more Mycelyum now that I've had to try it. So well done.
Thanks.
So true, Mike. And can I add this gummy here, the Cadillac of gummies. the Cadillac, hands down, the Cadillac of gummies. You got to try these gummies. Robin, as the head of business banking products for BMO, you're no stranger to entrepreneurs seeking capital to grow. In your opinion, how can a bank support an early stage company like Mycelyum?
Thanks, Rick. And congrats again, Joy and Jimmy. We love exploring new fungi in my family, but I have to tell you, it's been very hard to get my kids on board until we tried your product. It's the first mushroom product I can actually get my kids to eat. And if nothing else, you deserve my thanks and congratulations for that. Listen, for any early stage company, the best way that a bank can support you, frankly, is to listen. This might sound like a simple concept, but it's one that often gets missed in our industry. By actively listening to you, to any entrepreneur, your banker can really cut through all the noise and let you know which solutions will get you and your business to the next level. At the end of the day, you can bank anywhere. What really makes the difference is the people that you work with. And that's why we at BMO believe that your choice of bank is one of the most consequential decisions a business owner can make. Thanks for the opportunity to participate. Thanks, Rick.
All right, excellent stuff, Robin. And again, once again, thank you, Jimmy and Joy, for introducing us to your wonderful product. You know, Demo Day is always an important milestone at Venturepark because we get to announce exciting news with our community. And today we're excited to launch another big partnership to support Canadian entrepreneurs. Joining us is Patrick Heffernan, Senior Vice President of Consumer and Client Development at Tree of Life. Now, Mike, before we get to Patrick, could you tell us more about this partnership with Tree of Life?
I'd be happy to. This is a really exciting partnership for Venturepark Labs to be aligning with Tree of Life, which is a distributor that has such a solid reputation in the industry and can really provide a lot of insights and industry knowledge that a lot of our entrepreneurs will benefit from. Working with a distributor is one of the essential components of growing a CPG business, and having a CPG business focused accelerator, we're extremely honored to align with Tree of Life and bring their team into what we're doing here at Venturepark Labs. Our program is going to benefit from their insights, their experience, and their ability to really push the potential of the brands we're working from. So we're very excited and very thankful that Tree of Life is taking a leadership position in the industry and supporting early stage entrepreneurs as we look to grow these brands.
All right, thank you, Mike. Patrick, nice to have you with us here today to speak about the partnership and to join us as an expert for Demo Day. Patrick, what does this partnership mean to Tree of Life?
Well, thank you, Rick, and thank you, Mike. I appreciate it. The partnership is really important to Tree of Life. I mean, we looking forward to helping, great Canadian companies like we have for years understand the complex retail landscape. So we work really closely with retailers. Some of us, like myself, are ex-retailers, so we really know what to look for. We can help them through that process, so that early on, so that they're ready to hit the market, kind of ready to run. Our mission here is to ensure that they're set up to grow and become the next great successful brand. Tree of Life has been around for a long time, been around for 75 years, growing brands in Canada, sometimes from scratch, sometimes from a medium size, but all different sizes. And we really look forward to sharing that knowledge and experience with those companies. Canadian retail and food services is multifaceted and an expensive proposition in so many ways. So mistakes are costly, and we try to help our partners to navigate that world. But it's a lot of fun, and it can have a lot of great returns, and it's amazing to see brands grow and emerge into something that's bigger than what they started, and that's always it's amazing to watch. So all these brands in the accelerator improve the lives of Canadian consumers or the environment in some way, and will have long-term positive effects on Canadians for years to come. So it means something for us to be able to help them with that, and helping brands on Canadian, as Canadians helping Canadians is really important to us. So just very excited to be part of the program.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Patrick. I know that the Accelerator program will benefit immensely from your experience. All right, our next product is a real treat and is set apart by its sheer deliciousness. I must have eaten maybe 6 or 7 canisters already. And here to tell us all about Pom Pom and the deliciousness, please welcome Andrea Grayerbeal and Rihanna Kish.
Pom Pom. It rolls off the tongue of any Tom, Dick, and Harry, and Sally, aged 2 to 92. And those same tongues won't ever forget their first lick of our plant-based ice cream. Where do you go when you think of ice cream? Happy place, holiday, sunshine, fun, kids, joy,
and sprinkles. We are the founders of Pom Pom, and we make the best plant-based ice cream in the land. Pom Pom is a super fun scoop shop in Thornbury, Ontario, 2 hours north of Toronto. Pom Pom is also an amazing plant-based ice cream that is now a retail product. So how did we get here?
Okay, so I'm Andrea, and I've been in the food business since I was 13 years old. At age 26, I opened one of the coolest restaurant wine bars in Collingwood, Ontario, and operated it until 2020.
And I'm Rihanna, a classically trained chef, recipe developer, and former senior food editor of Canadian Living magazine. Although we lived in the same small town for years, we first met as participants at a women's chef event in Toronto in 2014. A coffee date a few months later revealed we had lots in common. Moms with a desire to shake things up and a shared interest in the recently closed scoop shop. That very same day, we made some major life-changing decisions, and Pom Pom opened its windows 6 months later.
So many members of our tight-knit community choose a plant-based diet, so it was always our mission to have an ice cream for everyone. But it was such a challenge to find a tasty, scoopable plant-based ice cream option. So we developed our own. Pom Pom is made with a few clean ingredients and a base of oat and coconut milks using a process that mimics conventional ice cream making. This sets us apart from the bigger players in our industry who are using water as their base or a long list of additives to get the desired consistency.
In our super busy little scoop shop, demand and sales of our plant-based shows huge growth year over year. It was this opportunity that led us to sell our plant-based pints and 11-liter tubs in retail locations and scoop shops across Southern Ontario.
We've spent the last 8 months getting our second brick and mortar location open. This is a retail shop, testing grounds, and home to our new production facility with capacity to meet our current and near future needs. In our shop, we've learned that customers want the classics. Our retail selection is 12 scoop shop standards, such as strawberry, chocolate, cookies and cream. They scoop, melt, feel, and taste like ice cream. We've yet to find another ice cream that's plant-based quite like ours, honestly.
We are developing packaging for a 1-liter format to replace our pints. This is a size that flies off the shelves in our shops and doesn't exist in premium or plant-based ice cream products. This format fills a need for families, for entertaining, or even for someone who just wants to share, because I'm pretty sure the pints are single serve.
True. The need for plant-based products is not a passing fad. We have a product that ticks a lot of boxes for people. It's comfort food, it's pleasure food, it's ice cream.
Long term, we are looking forward to scaling up and increasing production by building a larger facility or developing partnership with a co-packer, gaining access to Canadian markets coast to coast, and getting our ice cream into the hands of everyone. Because it's ice cream for everyone.
Yeah, cheers to that. Oh, yeah.
Cheers.
I got to tell you guys, my go-to snack in the afternoon for the last little while has been ice cream. My wife's been sneaking up on me while I'm eating tubs and tubs and tubs of it. Your product arrived at our house just like last week. And can I just say, how is this plant-based? This is delicious, and it's plant-based. It's delicious, and it's so good for you. And this is my current favorite, the chocolate fudge brownie. Ladies, an amazing job you've done here with an amazing product. I know what my next adventure is going to be with my family, visiting Pom Pom's ice cream shop. But first, we have to hear from our experts. Mike, as we just heard, Pom Pom has an ice cream shop, and they are launching their ice cream in retail stores. Now, you've worked with brands that have a storefront and a retail presence. What are some of the advantages of this approach or things that Pom Pom should consider?
Thanks, Rick. Awesome presentation, Andrea and Rihanna. I'm jealous, Rick. I wish I was eating some of that right now. It looks delicious. I think, we've worked with a lot of brands that are doing both. And I think one of the advantages is you get to test a lot of products before you bring them to market. Figure out what's working before you invest a ton of capital into launching a new brand. So I think that will be very successful, especially for an early stage brand. I think that will give you a lot of insight that you can then amplify. One of the things you do have to look out for, though, is obviously diversion of your focus. It's obviously quite different strategy from launching a brick and mortar store than it is to have a product on the shelves and support that in the way that it needs to be successful. So a lot of the entrepreneurs that we work with definitely need a dedicated focus on either category to make sure that they're splitting their time and making sure that both are successful. But if they are getting both attention, then I think it creates a lot of opportunity for you to test new products. And that's a really big advantage that you'll get that customer feedback right away.
And Patrick, over to you now. What advice can you offer Pom Pom to gain customers' attention in the frozen section of the grocery store?
Well, first, great presentation and, an amazing product. I've tried it as well. I have to say hats off to you for sticking to the core flavor profiles that you've identified that people like. So often we see brands come into this category trying strange and unique flavors. And although there's a short burst of attention, that wanes very quickly. People like what they like, and they tend to like the classics, as you guys see. So hats off to you for that. And I think that's very forward thinking, because there's a tendency to want to develop, exciting flavors that catch people's attention, but it's not always what they want to eat, or the mass don't want to always eat. So, but the category, you're heading into a category that's very tight in retailer world. It's a frozen door space, and it's measured in, you heard Stacey earlier, inches, but sometimes in this place, millimeters. It's very tight, dominated by a couple of large international players that don't like to give up space as much. So, it's not impossible. We've seen people wiggle their way in, but it's definitely going to be an uphill battle. It sounds like you've got the energy to take on that battle. So, you've kept your packaging clean. You're definitely into an on-trend category with the plant-based, and your product tastes good. It's got standard, like I said, standard taste profile. It tastes good. It doesn't taste like it's plant-based. So, but I think the key will be sampling, because we've seen some of the industries now, the plant-based category is slowing down in some cases because consumers didn't always kick in, or they tried a product. To your point, you said there's a lot of products out there that don't taste as good. But if I tried one, I'd be less willing to maybe try yours, because I think they all taste the same. So sampling, try to keep a budget for sampling. It's going to be critical at the retail level, so that people go and try it and they go, oh my God, this is really good. Now I'm going to buy it. If you just let them hope and find it on your own or on their own, they may not engage. So try to keep that in mind as you develop the product and you develop into the retail market. But other than that, great presentation, amazing product. Well done to both of you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Patrick. And ladies, it says non-dairy ice cream on here. That's got to be a lie. Hey, this is delicious stuff. Non-dairy, plant-based. This is my new ice cream right here.
Yeah.
Great presentation. Great product. Thank you for your time today.
Thank you.
Now, we only have a few more presenters left, and I can't wait to hear from this next company. Let's say hello to the functional blends that will help us feel, think, and live our best life. Welcome, Joya and its founder, Ruth Elnikove.
Eat this, but don't eat that. Do this, but not after 6 p.m. Breakfast is now bad for you? Is all the noise in the wellness world leaving you confused and stressed? My name is Ruth, and I founded Joya because wanting to live well should not be the thing stressing us out. As an ex-corporate lawyer burning the candle at both ends, I learned the hard way what chronic stress can do to our health. Hormonal imbalances cause just about everything to stop functioning properly. As I didn't have a disease, conventional medicine couldn't help. But luckily, I found holistic nutrition and discovered powerful herbs and mushrooms that have been used for thousands of years. Ingredients that not only played a key role in my healing process, but today continue to help me feel better and stronger than ever. The problem was that all the products on the market either tasted medicinal or contained fillers, questionable sweeteners, and even synthetics. As a health practitioner, I know that these powerful ingredients can help people feel their best. But as a chef, I just don't believe that health should mean sacrifice when it comes to the foods and drinks we consume. And so Joya was born. We're on a mission to reimagine our wellness journey into one that brings us joy every single day. And we're doing that through functional products that weave the most effective science-backed botanicals into delicious chef-crafted experiences. Our first product line is our adaptogen-powered supplement blends. With over 400 five-star reviews, these blends are creating a buzz, and they were awarded the Mindful Award for Stress Support Product of the Year. I know all too well that taking countless products daily feels like a chore. But with our blends, packed with herbs and mushrooms that work synergistically to support stress response, immune function, and more, you can easily support your optimal health in just one delicious daily scoop, as lattes or added to your favorite smoothies and foods. And our second line launching this fall is our decadent functional chocolate bars. The first of their kind in the Canadian market, these bars support real-world benefits such as focus, sleep, and immunity. As the saying goes, a Joya chocolate a day keeps the stress at bay. So what makes our products unique? You can finally say goodbye to countless pills and savor your wellness routine. Also, our 100% pure products contain zero fillers, additives, or preservatives. And they're all vegan, paleo, and keto friendly, so everyone can enjoy them. And last but not least, our delicious products actually work. In fact, we're one of very few brands in the functional category that's been granted natural health product status from Health Canada, a rigorous process that resulted in approval of our health claims, ingredient doses, and more. So what's our plan to get Joya to as many people as possible? E-commerce has been our primary channel to date in both Canada and the US, including direct-to-consumer, Amazon, and third-party retailers. And for our new chocolate line, shipping chocolate can be a bit tricky in the summer heat. Retail, as well as alternative channel placements such as gyms, cafes, and airports will be a core channel from the outset. Thanks so much for your time.
You had me at decadent chocolate and zero preservatives. Great stuff, Joya. Hey, Mike, the wellness category is certainly competitive. We all know that. If you were in Joya's position, what would you emphasize to gain awareness and attention?
Well, amazing presentation, Ruth. I love the intro. That was so fantastic because I think it actually signified the key issue of the wellness space, which is I don't know where to start anymore. There's tons of recommendations. You read an article and you're supposed to take fish oil like 5 times a day. I don't even know anymore. So I love the fact that you simplified it and made it easier. The part that you actually physically like poured out the pills, I think is what's really key about this brand. If I can switch my wellness routine to include Joya, I can skip spending hundreds of dollars in other supplements, which I think is a real benefit. So you simplifying your wellness regimen, I think is one of the key messages and something that will really resonate with customers. So great job, because you absolutely brought that through in your presentation. And I have a feeling a lot of customers are going to really value the fact that they can get healthy and not get confused by using Joya. So well done.
Thanks, Mike.
That could be the slogan too, get healthy, not confused. Thank you, Mike. And Patrick, Joya is doing something interesting in the health and wellness space, as you just saw there. What are some of the lessons Joya can learn from the wellness brands that you've worked with?
First, Ruth, thank you. It's great. I loved how you exactly what you did, called out what people were thinking, which is confusing. There's new trends every day. There's new direction. Your path to market is actually really straightforward and clear. And what I liked is you're not shooting too far into the future. You're like, I'm going to start with online. I'm going to get into the kind of secondary markets, establish the brand. A lot of people shoot right for the largest retail markets they can get to, and then they feel disappointed that they couldn't really get into it. So by establishing that brand and getting people used to seeing it and establishing a core base, you'll allow yourself to grow to a more even pace to allow you to get into larger and larger retail markets, which I think is the right strategy. So really refreshing to hear that you've got a clear path to market, and it seems to be the right one. So, Rick asked what I've learned, and that's what I've seen in the past is people kind of overreach a little, and they think that everyone thinks like they do, and everyone will want the product, but it's hard to market and hard to get there. So I think, I mentioned sampling before. Sampling is important. I know it may or may not be possible with the medicinal side, but I think you can do it with this one. But you definitely want to get the recognition out there and the marketing out there. That's the hardest thing, is to break through all that noise, all that stuff that people are seeing online and they're confused about. How do they get to see your product? So that's what you've got to keep in mind. You've got to find a way to be able to market to them, to that customer, to say, hey, I'm the answer you're looking for. But it's a clean, great product that, it doesn't have the supplement feel, it's not a pill. It feels so natural to eat, just like you'd put, like hot chocolate or something. Like, it's just something that feels natural to eat. So I think you're onto something. And it's going to be a long journey, but I think you stick to the basics and stick to your path to market. You'll be fine.
All right. Thank you, Patrick. Ruth, amazing stuff. Go Joya.
Thanks so much, guys. Cheers.
We are approaching the demo day finish line with just a few entrepreneurs remaining. Our next segment is brought to you by Torys LLP, an incredible partner to Venturepark Labs. Now, this segment features 2 stars from our previous demo day, the founders of Firecracker Pepper Sauce, Carmen and Mike McCracken. Congrats on your recent success, Carmen and Mike. They are here today to share their wisdom with K-Nutri. Please tell us more, Arian and Brittany.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brittany.
And I'm Arian.
And we're the founders of K-Nutri, a wellness brand focused on removing sugar and using natural ingredients.
Our company started almost 4 years ago when I gave up my acceptance to dental school to pursue something I was passionate about. I ended up doing my master's degree on the impact of sugar on obesity and cancer, and Brittany and I designed and launched the products out of my bedroom when I graduated. Ironically enough, 6 months later, I was diagnosed with a rare football-sized tumor and given a 50-50 chance of surviving. I had a handful of complications, and just waking up every day felt like a miracle. Early on, the cancer had spread to my heart lining, and it filled with over a liter of fluid. It took several days to figure out what was wrong, and in that time, my heart was beating at 130 beats per minute, even while I was resting. To put things into perspective, just 250 milliliters of fluid is enough to stop the heart from beating. In that moment, I was grateful for the years I spent prioritizing health and fitness. The doctors agreed that I likely wouldn't have survived if I wasn't in good shape. Throughout my treatment, we continued to work on the business and even launched several of our products from my hospital bed, including our collagen bar. We were fortunate enough to roll out our bars to a 12,000 customer subscription box and received feedback on what they thought of the price, taste, texture, branding, and so much more. After my surgery at the end of 2019, I was recovered and in remission when the pandemic started. This obviously impacted our business, and we decided to take a step back from our collagen bar and focus on our best-selling products.
Over the past 2 years, we've reformulated and rebranded this bar to be the healthiest and most delicious low-sugar bar on the market. With a unique collagen protein source and quality ingredients, we're confident our customers are going to love it. We've built a brand and a community around an idea of research and trust. We saw a gap in the supplement industry with other brands pumping their products with sugar or taking shortcuts with cheap ingredients. We started our brand with grass-fed and pasture-raised collagen protein sourced from Brazil, which quickly became our bestseller. Collagen is not only a great source of protein, but has also been shown to improve your hair, skin, nails, and joints. Our collagen is tasteless and odorless and can be stirred effortlessly in your coffee or smoothies.
We have put out innovative products like our multivitamin pack and our BCAAs with collagen, which was one of the first of its kind to hit the market. Our 42% customer return rate is one of the reasons we were able to take our company from 0 to 60K a month in revenue within the first 18 months. We have sold our products direct to consumers so far and are excited to enter the retail market. Our experiences have shaped us and this company into what it is today. We stand behind a motto to stay focused and be consistent, and it represents exactly how we feel about life and business. We're excited to continue our mission to become a household name, and we can't wait for you to try our collagen bar when it launches later this year. Thank you for taking the time to hear our story.
Great presentation. Incredibly inspiring story. Ariane, did you say the tumor was the size of a football?
Yes, it was in my chest, and it was growing about a centimeter a day. So if they had caught it a couple days later, I don't know what would have happened.
Wow, man. Thank you so much for sharing your story. Guys, I'm going to turn my attention to Mike first. Mike, your advice for an entrepreneur like K-Nutri who's raising capital for the first time.
Well, amazing presentation, and what an inspiration to everybody on this demo day. Amazing work that you've done to launch this company, but overcome a lot of personal challenges as well. So hats off to you. Raising capital as an early stage entrepreneur is challenging. It's really challenging to raise capital as a CPG entrepreneur, as I'm sure a lot of the entrepreneurs in this demo day can appreciate. I've been in your shoes before, and I know what it's like to approach investors who are very new to this category. So the strategy that I found in the past is approaching angel investors, because at this stage right now, while you have some traction and some impressive online growth, which I think is really captivating, it's still a very early stage business. And so they'll be investing in you guys as entrepreneurs. So I think your personal story is further proof that you have the ability to really grow this company and have what it takes. But I think it would be really important to network with investors that have invested in this category before, who understand it. So perhaps somebody that's had a successful exit in a consumer packaged goods company, or has invested in a CPG company, and perhaps they can provide a warm introduction to you. So I found a lot of success in your shoes by working with local angel community groups and finding out which ones have a track record of supporting consumer-focused entrepreneurs, because they'll understand the challenges, which are very unique, as opposed to investing in a tech or an energy business where there is a clear line of sight to your next raise where they can get a return on capital. So from my perspective, I think doing a lot of networking, which I know is a ton of work and energy, but providing, looking for support groups and angel groups that can provide some meaningful connections, and the Venturepark Labs network. A lot of the entrepreneurs that we have graduated from the program have been successful in raising in their communities. And I found success for some of the brands that we've worked with and leveraging those connections and making warm introductions for you. But no doubt you guys are going to be successful, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Rick.
And I love all the pastel colors. I love that. I love the look. It's very slick, very, very cool. Okay, founders of Firecracker Pepper Sauce. I just love saying that name. Firecracker Pepper Sauce. Carmen and Mike, what lessons have you learned since your last demo day that you can share with K-Nutri?
Awesome. Yeah. So first of all, we just want to say thank you so much to Venturepark for having us here. It's so awesome to hear all of the stories of everyone in Cohort 13. So it's great. Ariane and Brittany, I tried your this one here earlier today. I had it in my grapefruit juice, and phenomenal, like actually phenomenal. I'm always very hesitant when people say something is flavorless, because I often find that's not the case when adding it to juices or something like that, but very much so I can guarantee that it was flavorless, and just like went along really well with the grapefruit juice. So in terms of lessons that we've both learned, I'll go first, and then Mike will chip in with his answer afterwards. So it was just a few short months ago that we were here at our demo day, and some of the things I personally learned is that things take longer than you think they're going to take. So as a whole, you know, on a daily basis as entrepreneurs, we're constantly solving problems. So whether it's procuring material, whether it's just marketing, or whatever it is that we're dealing with in our daily grind, things just take time. They take long. And I know sometimes it can feel like it is a race, and it's a race to get to whatever that line is. Like my to-do list, it never does end. Sometimes you end up feeling like, oh my God, like I have so much to do and you didn't get all of it done. But what I really like about what Venturepark says is that we're here to push potential. And sometimes I just remember that we're here to push potential. Every day is a new day. Every day we're growing as business owners, as entrepreneurs. We're doing new things. And I think it's just so important to like get up and like kind of have that mindset and just keep going and know that it doesn't have to be, you know, done in 5 minutes. It doesn't have to be done within like the next month. Like there will be a tomorrow, and just to keep going and keep persevering. And, you know, based on the story that you shared, it's obvious that you have those qualities. And I think that is so important for being an entrepreneur.
Thank you, guys.
So, hey guys. So I drink a lot of protein shakes, and I like to drink my matcha green tea. And I always have to shake the protein shakes and whisk the matcha green tea. And I just had your collagen powder in my coffee, and I was super impressed with the fact that it dissolved with just a simple stir. So I've never had a powder that dissolves so well. So that was an amazing like aspect to your product. So some things that I've learned since the last demo day is, I guess the first thing would be the importance of focusing on the story rather than just the product. So when we started, I used to think that a good product would sell itself. But since then, I've learned that the best way to stand out from a crowd is to connect with the purchasers and make them feel like they're part of our story. And you guys have a really good story. So I like the way that you're leveraging that and really promoting that. We also learned how important it is to clarify exactly what kind of business you want to be. So we are a brand and we're a manufacturer, and we outsource everything else. We outsource our marketing, our distribution, our sales. Other brands we know are brands and distributors and marketers, but they outsource their manufacturing and their sales. So it's important to focus in exactly on what you're going to do and not spread yourself too thin trying to do everything all at once. And I guess the last lesson that we've learned since our demo day is that during periods of rapid growth, having a strong cash flow is super crucial. So cash is king. So the faster you grow, the more you're going to have to spend up front without seeing a return until much later. So you have to make sure that you're able to have that money to spend up front without running into too much trouble.
Yeah.
That's really helpful. Thank you, Carmen and Mike. We appreciate it.
Yes, thank you. Keep
Thanks.
going, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, great stuff, Carmen and Mike. Thank you so much for adding your input. And Arian and Brittany, fantastic stuff as well. Great presentation, great product. Thank you for sharing it and your story with us today.
Thank you, Rick.
Thank you.
All right, so who doesn't want a luxurious at-home spa experience? And we're all putting our hands up. We do. We want it. We want one. Well, thanks to MIFA, now you can. It is my pleasure to introduce two entrepreneurs making waves in the beauty industry, MIFA co-founders Fatima Hamidi and Michelle Louis. Hi, ladies.
Hi. Did you know that our bodies are always speaking to us? Dryness, loss of skin elasticity, bags under the eyes, and the list goes on. Our skin can actually show internal stress externally. It wasn't until my trip to Bali where I discovered you can't have a healthy body without a healthy mind. They infused eucalyptus into the showers, and the calmness it instilled was magical. It was in that moment I knew we needed to take a holistic approach with our body care.
Hi, I'm Michelle, and this is Fatima, and we are the founders of MIFA. MIFA is a 100% natural body care brand that provides a sensory spa at home experience, using aromatherapy to help you balance, restore, and relax effortlessly. We have multi-use formulations that can include our signature body wash, a serum for face and body, and our nutrient oil that can also be used for your face, body, and hair. As best friends and mamas, we know how challenging it can be to maintain balance, which is why self-care has always played such an important role in what we do. I'm a mom of 2 boys, Fatima has 2 girls. We've both worked in corporate for over 10 years, so we know firsthand how stress can affect your skin and overall health. People are becoming more aware of their skin health, mental health, and the importance of having intentional daily rituals.
What started out as a hobby of making soap bars in my kitchen 4 years ago has now grown to what we call MIFA today. We are no longer in my kitchen, but we still design, develop, and manufacture here in BC. It was our best-selling body wash that quickly became everyone's favorite daily escape. And this is because our products are created intentionally to provide a full body wellness experience. Whether it's a 2-minute or 10-minute shower, spray our eucalyptus mood mist, turn on the shower, take a few deep breaths, and then lather up with our eucalyptus cocoa body wash. You instantly have a steamy spa-at-home shower that nourishes you from head to toe. Then in our serums and oils, we use some of the finest plant oils in the world, like gotu kola, prickly pear, and baobab. Known for their skin healing properties, these ingredients will leave you with nothing but a radiant glow. Our products are also plant-based, vegan, and cruelty-free.
We have hundreds of 5-star reviews and have appeared in Elle, Fashion, The Marilyn Dennis Show, and The Social. Consumers are craving at-home self-care experiences, and body care is a key part of that.
So how are we different? We take a holistic approach to body care that encourages self-care at the deepest level. This helps get to the true cause of skin challenges, no matter your skin type or concerns. We use research-backed natural ingredients that are proven to help restore your skin barrier without the use of any synthetics. Products are typically made either for your face or your body. Our versatile multi-use formulations are made to simplify your routine and reduce the number of products that you need to use.
We currently sell direct to consumer through our website and have over 60 retailers across Canada, including the Bay and Indigo. We have an active following on Instagram and will continue our influencer marketing program and grow our list of brand ambassadors. Within the next 2 years, we want to be recognized as a prestige body care brand across Canada. And we are looking to grow our list of retailers nationally by spreading our MIFA moments.
With our minimalist, multi-use, sensory body care line, MIFA is helping build intentional rituals for every body, every mind, and every skin. Thank you.
Yes, well done, Michelle and Fatima. Great stuff right there. Great presentation, great product. Fatima, you painted that picture perfectly earlier. So luxurious, so good. And thank you for bringing plant-based beauty to a whole new level. Okay, Mike, so Venturepark has helped a few brands in the beauty category achieve success. What should MIFA learn from them to differentiate in such a crowded space?
Well, MIFA, such an amazing presentation. Well done, Fatima, Michelle. I love the brand. I think it's so luxurious as well. I think the big thing we've learned, and we've worked with quite a few brands in the beauty space now and wellness space, is really just the importance of focus. And it's challenging for an early stage brand because you want to reach as many customers as you can. But the DTC channel right now is so challenging as well. So I think having the ability to kind of figure out, do you want to focus on the retail or do you want to focus on the online piece will be important in the early days of getting those early customers and then gradually growing the brand from there. That's something that we've seen with a lot of the brands we work with. They typically try to go out to market and grow whatever category they can. But then, cash flow becomes an issue and they typically realize the hard way that they need to focus in on where they're gaining some traction and amplify that. But no doubt, I mean, you both have incredible backgrounds. I think this brand is going to be very successful. And I'm very honored that you went through the Accelerator Program. I wish you guys the best.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mike. Over to Carmen and Mike. You have successfully gained new retailer listings since your demo day. What advice do you have for MIFA for establishing their brand in retail?
Yeah, so really nice to meet you both. Awesome presentation. I absolutely love your packaging. It's so beautiful. And I used the oil earlier today and phenomenal. I'm somebody who I'm very sensitive to smells, so really hurts my head. Not at all, didn't hurt it at all. And really like the lather of this as well too. So really great job. Yeah, so back to the question in terms of what we've learned in establishing ourselves as we've gone the retail journey. So right now we're in about 400 stores, including Sobeys, Foodland, Metro, Loblaws. And I think what we've learned is that the DTC game is very, very different than the retail game, like totally different markets entirely. And so consumers are really looking for a good value proposition in retail. So it's super important to know that people are very price sensitive in retail. when they're able to look at your product and look at your competitors, kind of compare them side by side. So you really have to know like exactly who that ideal customer is, what you're trying to sell like to them, and like whether your price point is going to fit in a retail environment. I think that's like one of the most important things to establish early on, and then to like continue pushing that, right? I think, yeah, like, you know, you can learn the hard way that sometimes it just, your price point, D2C, like it sells really, really well. But once you hit the store shelves, like people are, you know, I don't know, and think twice. It's really hard to change behaviors that way. On that same note, you have to know your velocities. So you have to know, like, you know, when you get on the shelf, how long it takes to get off the shelf, and kind of like continue to push that behavior as well too, working with your distribution partners and being able to like gain some of that information from them is super helpful for you to carve out your path in retail. And I think the last thing to know is like where your product is going to sell the best. So we've had the opportunity to kind of like test trial different places in the stores. And it's interesting because sometimes where you think you're going to sell the best is not actually necessarily where you think you're going to sell the best. And being able to like work with your stores to position your products in different places to capture that ideal customer is super important. So that would be my advice for you in retail.
Okay, and my advice would be, I guess, first of all, put together a good argument of why the store should stock your product instead of your competitors. So to do this, know how well you sell in existing stores and how often they reorder, and then know who your customer is. So know the buying demographic and why they buy what you sell. So a useful thing to do is to ask your customers directly, like why they're buying your product, what value you add. And sometimes their answer is different from what you might expect. So it's a good learning experience for the brand as well. Another piece of advice I'd offer is to try to attend some industry trade shows. So not too many smaller brands do this, but it is a good opportunity to connect with buyers and to get your product directly into their hands. So if you don't want to spend for a booth to be at the trade show, you could just attend as an attendee. But meeting the retailers personally and developing your own relationship with them is better than being dependent on solely the distributor or the broker to mediate for you. So it's always good to do that. And another piece of advice would be to be prepared to spend upfront to build your inventory, to market and to pay listing fees that might come up, because once you start getting on a lot of shelves, I'm not sure if you guys have already, but the expenses really come really quick.
Great advice. You guys were part of the last demo day?
We were, yeah.
Like veterans in this world. You know so much. And once again, I'd like to end by saying firecracker pepper sauce. Love it. Thank you guys for that great advice. And Michelle and Fatima, thank you very much for your presentation. And great product there.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good luck, guys.
For our final presentation, we'd like to acknowledge the contributions of Prairie Economic Development and the Industrial Research Assistant Program to our Accelerator Program. Thank you for helping us push the potential of Canadian entrepreneurs. And joining us now is Tom Shurey, industry expert and President and CEO of CFIG, the Canadian Federation of Independent Grocers. CFIG is helping Cohort 13 entrepreneurs connect with over 7,000 independent grocers across Canada in order to grow even faster. This is huge news. Thank you for supporting our entrepreneurs, Tom and CFIG. And up next is a product that I know will excite CFIG and everyone watching right now. This company has been generating well-deserved attention across the nation for its award-winning, innovative packaging and its range of flavors. Here to shake up the butter category is Manitoba brand Von Slicks. Rob and Landon, what can you tell us about Von Slicks?
You are hungry. Your kids are screaming. They haven't had breakfast. Your mother-in-law just showed up out of the blue for dinner. You scan your kitchen in a panic. How do I create something delicious and authentic in a hurry? What do you got? Pancake mix, chicken breast, rice, noodles. Wait a second. I can make any of this work. I've got my flavor hack, Von Slicks.
We can have salted caramel or wild blueberry pancakes, roasted red pepper potatoes, garlic confit chicken breast, olive tapenade rice, or a classic mushroom duxelle steak. We've got this.
It's never been easier to wow your family and friends with practically no experience and hardly any prep time.
Hello, I'm Rob. I've been a chef for about 25 years.
I'm Landon. I have a background in sales and marketing. Von Slicks is a flavored butter company, or in the culinary world, a compound finishing butter. We take real Canadian butter, real food and fresh herbs, roast that down, and infuse them to make 6 disturbingly good flavors. To make it super easy and convenient at home, we package our product in an eco-friendly paper push tube and sell it frozen so there's never any waste.
No need for a fridge full of half-empty dried out sauces and condiments. Just take out Von Slicks from the freezer, push up from the bottom, and slice up a coin to finish at any dish from breakfast to lunch to dinner to just a snack. In my culinary career, I have worked in Michelin star restaurants in England and France to owning my own fine dining restaurant for 10 years in the Okanagan. I've used finishing butters in the restaurant world all over the world, yet I've never been able to buy it in the retail market anywhere until now. Von Slicks has created
quite the buzz from being the first push-up flavored butter stick on the retail scene. Customer education comes down to one simple sample. Once people have tried it, they're hooked, and their new obsession begins. In our short 15 months of business, we've been able to build an incredibly loyal and raving fan base, establishing over 120 retail and restaurant partners and getting national recognition with 2 wins in Toronto at the prestigious Retail Council of Canada New Product Grand Prix Awards. For originality and innovation, as well, we won in the dairy category for all of Canada, up against some of the biggest players in the game, such as Saputo, Agripure, Walmart, and Metro.
With our new production facility and established Hassel plan, we are ready to expand and make our mark on Canada's foodie scene. Von Slicks is the first flavored push-up butter stick on the market. With our innovative packaging and versatile flavors, we make cooking at home approachable and fun for every skill level.
From snacks for your kids to parents on the go, to wine and dine dinners with guests, to elevating your everyday meal with ease. Life in the kitchen just got a whole lot easier.
Is your store ready for Canada's newest obsession?
We are
Von Slicks Finishing Touch.
You know what just got a whole lot easier? My corn on the cob tonight and buttering it.
Totally.
You guys know what I'm talking about. Wow, God, this product needs to be in households everywhere.
Thank you. We think so too.
Great work, Von Slicks. And I don't think I've ever heard the description disturbingly good.
Trying to be different. That's what we do.
Guys, great stuff. Great product. Great presentation. Mike, Von Slicks clearly has an innovative product, no doubt, which is a big advantage for these guys. But will it also require some customer education? How do new brands like this, Von Slicks Push-Up Butter, build awareness for their product?
Well, amazing presentation. I love the passion. And I just think this product is amazing because it solves such a clear need. Like, I didn't go to culinary school. I'm not the greatest cook, but by using your product, I can make my dinner that much better and I can impress my mother-in-law, which I really appreciate. So excellent job. I think what's the strength of your brand is that your product is solving such a clear problem and it makes the process of cooking easier. So I think your in-store signage is so important to convey that because you're also in the frozen category, which will be a little bit challenging because, as I'm sure you heard the feedback before, people don't typically look for butter in the freezer aisle. So having some sort of in-store call out, I think, is really important. But identifying like what is the benefit of this, I think it's so clear, which is such a strength for your brand. So emphasizing what problem that Von Slicks can solve for you, which I think is quite clear. And then where can you find it in store, I think is going to be really important. But I love this product. I love the innovation. And I'm so excited to see you guys grow over the next year.
Awesome. Thank you.
Great stuff, Mike. Okay, Tom, over to you now. CFIG works with thousands of independent grocers. What opportunity do you see here for retail expansion of Von Slick's innovation?
I see that there is an opportunity, no doubt, for Landon and Rob to grow across the nation. I was at the Grand Prix Awards, Landon and Rob, and I was cheering for you. I do have a dairy background in my past before joining CFIG, so the innovation within the butter area of the business definitely needed to shake up. The forms of butter in the past, if you have 1 pound butter prints to some sticks, that seemed to be the innovation within the category. So within that, with having an infused butter come into retail, beautiful product. I haven't had the opportunity to taste it, but the flavoring profile looks awesome. So I would say to expand the distribution, driving different partnerships could help you expand across the nation to independent grocers as well as to others. So the first area that I'd look at, beyond your traditional area and roots within the Manitoba marketplace, would be finding a distribution company that could partner with you within the segment of, if it's going to be a shipment of frozen products, and they have a sales capacity that you could work with. So maybe a company like one of the sponsoring companies like Tree of Life, where they have sales and distribution capabilities. They could be an area that you could help maybe, or they could work with you to focus on getting distribution from coast to coast. The second partnership could be working directly with some wholesalers that have the capabilities of shipments. And again, another partner on the call today with Sobeys. They do have a national footprint from a wholesale standpoint, but there's others across the nation that work with independent grocers. And because most of the independent grocers get their frozen needs from the major wholesalers or distributors across the nation. So picking the right partners and working with them, and some of the wholesalers do have their own retail outlets too, that could give you that automatic jump in distribution into some of the major chains at the same time. So those would be two partnerships that I would definitely have you consider finding the right partners to help drive your distribution. The third partnership would be a direct ship model. And we will be having our upcoming show. I believe you're coming to it in October, the 25th and 26th in Toronto. And we'll have the opportunity, depending on the models that you're working with, to introduce you to a number of the grocers from across the country at our Grocery Innovation Show, as well as we have our Vancouver show next April. So we tend to get a lot of cross-sectional retailers that we could help work with you on from a direct ship standpoint. And I love the side of you looking at the food service side of the business too. So think about when you're working with the various retailers, they have their own kitchens at the same time. So designing recipes that your products could go into in their HMR products within their stores, that you could get that crossover. And then, you were talking about signage, Mike, about where, how to drive that. If you get a person using it in their HMR section within their store, and then they can help advertise, you can find this product over in our frozen section within the store too. So that might be another way of paralleling some extra sales for all the parties. So those would be some of the angles of partnership that I would explore in the immediate future.
Awesome. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Great words. Thank you so much, Tom. I think you said earlier the whole world of butter needed a shakeup. May I just add, Von Slicks needed a push-up as well.
I like that.
I love it, man. I'm salivating over here. I need my corn on the cob with your product on it pronto. Guys, thanks again. Great product, great presentation.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Well done.
Well, thank you everyone for tuning in to Demo Day for Cohort 13. It has been an absolute pleasure to be here with you today. Remember to pick up one of these incredible boxes to learn more about today's entrepreneurs. We all succeed when Canadian entrepreneurs succeed. And can I just say it was an absolute honor to be here as host today, learning about all these Canadian products, learning about their stories. And Mike, it only makes sense to give you, sir, the final word.
Well, the first thing I'll say, Rick, is we are so appreciative of you spending time with us today. You're a phenomenal host. We're so honored that you dedicated your time to helping us push the potential of these entrepreneurs.
Pleasure.
Next, I want to acknowledge the lot of work that went into getting these entrepreneurs to this level. So that involves thanking the entrepreneurs themselves who have really dedicated a lot of time to going through the program and, facing a lot of really important questions about their business. And that's really the growth that comes through the accelerators, the personal growth component. So very appreciative of the time they've invested and our team who have really pushed the potential of these entrepreneurs. Our entire Venturepark Labs team, the Venturepark ecosystem that has supported Demo Day, we're very thankful. Our panelists who have really provided amazing advice today, and so thankful for that. And of course, our amazing sponsors, Sobeys, BMO, Tree of Life, Torys, Chartwells, and all of our amazing partners as well. This ecosystem wouldn't exist without them. And so on behalf of our founder, Arlene Dickinson, I just want to put a call out to all entrepreneurs. If you are thinking about starting a business, do it, because when you push the potential, we see the impact that it's had on Canada, and it's so positive. And anybody watching that's just interested in supporting these brands, please do that. You can find the bundle boxes available on our website, ventureparklabs.ca/demo day. And you could try these products that were here today. They're amazing, and they are on their way to making some really big waves in the industry. So thank you. Thanks for watching. Have a great evening.
Awesome stuff, Mike. I don't know about you, but my stomach's growling over here. I got some Pom Pom with my name all over it in my freezer. I'll see everybody later. See you next Demo Day.